Well, hi everybody, and welcome to That Fallout Show, episode 31, Smell Your Nightmare. I am Rick McVick, and with us tonight, as always, is the lovely Charlene.
Hello. That was so dramatic. I feel very special now. Finally, an adequate introduction.
And directly to the left of me on screen is Vendertron.
Welcome, sir or madam.
How are you folks this evening?
Well, I made it. So that happened.
You made it. Good job.
Yeah.
You made it.
Yeah. If you guys don't notice, I am not wearing my usual muffs. And that is because my beautiful Sennheiser headphones decided to die 15 minutes before we went live. And so I flew out of the house, I hopped in the Mini, and I squealed over to Best Buy. And I flew into Best Buy. I'm like, where's the headphones? Do a show. And they're like, just over there, aisle 12. I'm like, whew. I'm like sifting through all the headphones. I'm like, $179. I can't pay. What? $60? No. Oh, here, $13. Okay, we'll do this. So then I ran to the till, and the lady at the till was under training.
Of course.
And it was like, boop. And the manager was like, no, scan it again. And she's like, boop. And it's just like wouldn't scan. And I'm like, anyways, so I flew out of there and I ran back home and well, here I am with my beautiful skull candy headphones.
Too
bad.
It
wouldn't be a show if it wasn't chaos 5 minutes before we go live.
We've crawled out of the dumpster fire long enough to try and put on a podcast for you folks.
But no matter how hard we try, there's always one more fire around the corner.
You can take the fire out of the dumpster, but you can't take the dumpster out of the fire. That doesn't make any sense.
It was well said.
Too bad that you
quote that.
Didn't have a wonderful set of tweaked audio headphones lying around.
You are the devil.
Oh my!
Tried like
goodness.
5 times to get that in there.
Oh, you did it! You did that. Cool.
I went back that far.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, so everything's fine.
Amazon affiliate link.
Audible.
Audibletrial.com.
So thank you all for joining us tonight. And for those of you who are listening to us audio-wise, thank you for sticking with us. We had a bit of a weird hiatus. There was some weird stuff that happened. My car died. Things went awry. But we are back now. And I wouldn't say better than ever. We're just back. And
Plainly not better than ever.
And but yes, also last game stack really shouldn't be missed, and I don't know why that's in the show notes. Why shouldn't it be missed?
Because we talked about Fallout an awful lot.
That's true.
And we have a lot of listeners who listen to this Fallout show, but not GameStack podcast. I don't know why. I mean, I can't imagine why they would not want to enjoy our dulcet tones every week instead of every other week. But absolutely, you need to check out the last episode of GameStack. We spent like half an hour doing a deep dive into Fallout first. And also the Outer Worlds. I know many of you Fallout fans are heavily interested in the Outer Worlds, and we talked a lot about that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Go subscribe to GameStack. Check out our last episode.
Yes. And also, folks, we have a big announcement.
It's not a bad one.
The show is
It's happening again. Extra Life, the 24-hour gaming marathon where gamers across the world raise money for our local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. It feels good to do something we love to help kids, but it feels great to get closer through the magic of game. We enter as friends and leave as real-world heroes for sick kids everywhere. Sign up online. Extra Life. Play games. Heal kids.
That's right, folks. This year, for the first time ever, WJLG is doing an Extra Life stream for a full 24 hours on November the 22nd. Didn't have to look at all.
For our audio listeners, Rick's looking at his calendar.
No. November 22nd, starting at the normal showtime of 8:30. In lieu of having a stream, we are going to be doing a live, obviously live stream, 24 hours straight Extra Life charity event benefiting Children's Miracle Network, specifically Johns Hopkins Children's Medical Center in Baltimore, Maryland. I think that's what we have it set up as, right, Ben?
John Hopkins. Yeah, that's
John
what we have
Hopkins
it set up for.
And just a real quick side note, I've done some charity work for Johns Hopkins Children's Medical Center, and I kind of have like a little thing for them in my heart because I've done a radio broadcast for them every year. In February, they do a radiothon thing, and it's just wonderful. They bring out the kids, and that sucks, but you can see how more of a strong person, brave person those kids are, and they're like 6, and I'm like a grown adult. Like, I couldn't do that, you know.
Guys, you should have seen me this morning. So I'm building all of our Extra Life like PR stuff and overlays and everything, art for the streams and stuff. And when you download the Extra Life package, they give you a schwack load of videos of just small mini documentaries of kids and their stories.
So
and I started watching them this morning, and then I was like crying and drinking my coffee, and it was this just
dribbling down the bib
emotional mess. Yeah.
Dude, no, the radiothon is like that, where they do like these mini documentaries, but then they like wheel the kid out like after the documentary's over.
Like, here's all my money, take it all.
And they're like, could you mic him up, please? He's blind and he can't see, and he has like 15 cancers, and like he can't. And I'm like, and they're like, your tears are getting on his face. Stop it.
Yeah.
So no, it's an intense thing, but this I don't think we'll show any of those during the stream because that's too sad. I mean, it's poignant, but it's tough.
We have some nice bumpers lined up, and we've got a lot of really new materials and stuff.
Can you tell the folks? You set the thing up, vendor.
Yeah,
so can you tell the folks a little bit the page and stuff?
So we will be tweeting out a link. I wonder if I can pull it up right now. I don't think I have the login on this computer, but yeah, no, I don't. I will post the link announcing it on Twitter after the show this evening. But the Extra Life page is not just for the 3 of us, not just for WJLG. It's a team. And so if you guys would like to join us in building that donation and building that effort, you're more than welcome to join the WJLG team and play alongside with us. Not on stream, of course, but alongside with us while we stream. That would be really cool, and we would definitely support that. So if you are interested, just send me a personal message, and I will send you an invite to add you to our Extra Life team. But yeah, link coming, and Rick will be running the main train for WJLG, and then Shalene and I will kind of flank on our Twitch pages periodically. Shalene and I are not, we don't have the stamina to do a 24-hour stream this year.
So I have to work.
Yeah, and I have to work, and then I have a Christmas function on the 22nd as well, right when you guys start. So I will come in a little bit late, and then I'll stay up late and play, and then I'll join you guys again on Saturday morning throughout the day. But
I've always wanted to try to do the full 24, and I'm stupid. So
I've done it twice, and it's a
slog, I'm sure.
When I get out of it, I feel like I am starting to get the flu. You know, when you have that feeling where you're starting to get the flu. So I don't like to do that. And personally, I think that Extra Life should do away with the 24-hour thing. They certainly say that you can fill your 24 hours whenever you want. You don't have to go for 24 hours straight. But they advertise it that way. And I think that they should try to get away from that because it's not conducive to health. And that's the whole point of the charity. Yeah, but that's just my piece on it.
Yeah, it's fun.
But I'm very excited to do this with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that we've always wanted to do. So
Yes, and I had done an Extra Life stream. Was it the year before last? And you guys had joined me. No, we were doing
No.
It was the
The year you
Carries
did
Fund.
Extra Life, the year you did Extra Life, we announced it and promoted your stream on the last episode of the show that shall not be named.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
So the last charity stream we will have done was the Carries Fund.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
12
Carrie, if you're
hours.
listening,
That
we love
was
you and
12.
we miss you. So we hope you're
I
doing
haven't
well.
seen her in a while.
Yeah, I should send her a message.
But yes. Airy Twitch in the chat says, "Why does our nightmare smell?" You will find out in the conspiracy segment because it is a doozy.
Oh dear.
So anyway, all right, more about Extra Life soon enough. But first, we've got to talk about tonight's show. And tonight's show wouldn't be possible without viewers like you who help promote the show. And how you can do that, I really lost my train of thought and brought it right back around with that. And I thought it was quite smooth. But how you can help us promote this show is you can share us on your social media pages, whether it's on the Tick Chats or Snap Talks, and then you can send us emails because we love your emails. And then you can host us on the Twitches and like, subscribe, and retweet and share our stuff. It's great. So, yeah. And in tonight's episode, we've got some news. And, yeah, that's going to be fun. Some gameplay from Shalene, the challenge recap, and a new challenge. And then we have our... this was supposed to be the conspiracy episode from like 2 episodes back that we just never got around to do. So
I forgot to make a tinfoil hat. I'm so disappointed in myself.
It's the second time that bit hasn't worked. So where was I at? Conspiracy. Yes, we're going to be talking about a Fallout 76 conspiracy, and then the lore segment regarding that conspiracy as well. But before we get into any of that, we have some 5-star reviewer shout-outs. So Vendertron, could you please make people feel all warm and gooey inside?
Oh, no. What? So 5-star review shout-outs. If you would like to leave a 5-star review shout-out, I mean, I don't know why you would want to ever do that. But you can go to Apple Podcasts, not Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts.
Apple Casts.
Apple iTunes
Did you just
cast.
break your fan?
And you can leave us a 5-star review shout out if you would like. If you enjoy the show, we love to hear from you, and we will shout you out on either that Fallout show or GameStack podcast. But this shout out comes all the way from Great Britain. A DC boy 36805 says, "These guys are awesome, funny, and a joy to listen to, and keep it up." So thank you all the way from across the pond. We love you, and thanks for that 5-star review shout out. I just like to point out that our chat is on fire this evening.
Ain't it though? But like the good kind of on fire.
Van Sylvan in the chat says Rick's eyebrows when he squints looks like the Fallout boy behind Vendor. So for our audio listeners, I tweeted out earlier this week a picture of is it a meme? I think it's a meme. I don't know what memes look like now. I'm too old. They've evolved.
They have something to do with Epstein not killing himself.
Back in my day, memes had white text. Yeah, it's like the girl walking with the guy.
It's the jealous girlfriend.
The guy's looking at another girl walking the other way, and she's all like jealous, and so over top of the jealous girl's head.
We've all seen it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways,
it's great.
Yeah,
it's a great meme.
Yeah, we got some
a meme.
A meme.
I know,
a meme.
being stupid.
My mom calls them memes.
Memes.
Or like Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi?
Can you reset the Wi-Fi? I'm like,
yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I think we also have some new Discordians too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know what is also great? Our Discord, which is growing. We are now at 350 members.
Really?
Dang.
350 members, you guys. Isn't that amazing? So we would like to send a big hi there and hello to the Scrapper. Welcome, welcome, Scrapper. Also, Protectron.
This has been fun to watch happen on Discord.
We'll talk about that later. And Ellen the Emu. So which is pretty great. Guys,
My godmother used to have emus. She had an emu ranch. Did I ever tell you guys about that?
Of course she did. Here we go. Okay,
Yeah,
go.
my godmother had an emu ranch, and she got on America's Funniest Home Videos.
What?
The video of the emus dancing, and they won.
Did she?
Wow.
So she met Bob Saget?
Yeah,
No.
she won like the $10,000 or whatever, and it was just a video of the emus dancing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
My
you think you
godmother.
know someone, Rick. Jeez.
And those
We
emus,
do.
like, I was so scared of them. They like shiny things, and so do I. So earring, necklace, and the emus like peck at you. they want the shiny things.
Okay, I need to see this video. Like, you need to find it.
I will. Let me make a note. Let me
Yeah.
just-
I'm sure it's on the
Make a note.
YouTubes. Everyone in chat's asking for a link.
I don't know if you guys
Shalimu.
Shalimu.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been following the Discord or have been in Discord land this week, but it's been very active. A lot of people have been posting wonderful Halloween costumes, and some of them are actually cosplays and stuff like that. So that's really cool to see. We've had an explosion of pictures of people's offices today in the lobby. Everybody is sharing their piles of paperwork that they have to get through, and it turned into like this dueling office picture paperwork sort of contest. It was a lot of fun. We also had Dave. You guys know Dave from the Cryptid Cast.
Yeah.
Dave. So he reached out to our friends in the Discord in the general gaming channel, asking about how to construct a D&D campaign, which naturally exploded the gaming channel. Everybody was like, "Oh well, this is my area of expertise." So they were offering up their ideas and stuff. So that was kind of cool to see unfold. Also, Dragon Craze shared with us a new article that he has written and is published to halfgen.com. So one of our WGLG members is now a game columnist, game writer, and publishing to halfgen.com. So we recommend that you go check that out.
Nice.
If you are not in the Discord, all you have to do, and if you're listening and watching live right now, all you have to do is scroll down right below Rick. There's a Discord link there for you. That'll bring you right into Discord. Or you can send us a personal message, or I think we have also the link on our social media as well. So, but yeah, Discord.
Awesome.
It's fun times.
Good. Well, that's
Also,
good.
I think I died again from Boxbot, but I haven't been paying attention to it. Joshy Neurotic is just like cashing in on all of my. You know what happens when you die by Boxbot hand?
No.
They get to loot your body. So I had all these good guns and like weapons and stuff, and I died, and then they stole all my stuff.
Huh.
It's like jerks.
I guess.
Okay, I couldn't find the emu video, but I will keep looking.
Well, you don't have to look right now, Shalene. We're doing a show.
Well,
Just like, hold on, I'm just gonna go make a sandwich.
She just bolts off the screen, chair spins. I guess it's not a spinning chair though. Well, Vendor, I guess next time you go to wait, let me see if I can do this. Next time Emu go no, it didn't work. Next time you go fight with Boxbot, you've got to go nuclear.
If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment.
Nuclear news, that is. Shalene, what happened in the world of Fallout? What happened? I left that in the air. I'm supposed to go down on that now because I don't say this week anymore.
It's okay. You can still say this week.
But it's been like 3.
It's been like a month, but you can say
Anyway.
like this time. But it's been a lot, guys. It's been a lot.
Mhm.
I had to completely come in and redo the news because it was all outdated. So we're gonna start out with the most recent Inside the Vault, which discusses the Halloween event. So the Halloween event is a seasonal event, Mischief Night, and they kicked that off earlier this week, and it takes place at the White Spring. They have completely redecorated the White Spring, and every hour on the top of the hour, the iBot named Jester shows up and guides you through some shenanigans, including lots of explosions and some lawn forking and other types of things. And it's a pretty fun time. I really enjoyed it. There are some special rewards you can get, as well as some special rewards that are only available by playing Nuclear Winter as well. And this is available until November 12th, which I don't know. I'm a little annoyed at that. I feel like this event should have started earlier in the month and ended soon after Halloween instead of,
It's like they can't get anything right.
I know, it does. And that's it for Inside the Vault this week, really. But the big news of the day is Fallout First. What are you doing? What are you laughing at?
Kerfuffle in the chat has just been killing it with that Epstein memes. He's like, if you pay for Fallout First, you'll find out Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. It's like the second one he's done. It's great.
Van Sylvan says Fallout Worst.
Oh dear.
It's not the
Archie's
worst
hearing
if
an
it isn't
echo. I don't know
worst.
if there's a problem there.
Huh?
It says I'm hearing Shalene twice, but I'll refresh.
I mean, twice the Shalene is. I don't see that as a problem.
So can't handle it. Oh. God.
So we talked about Fallout First on GameStack podcast last week, but we're also going to discuss it here as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's people are mad. People are real angry about Fallout First.
I am.
Okay.
2/3 of the podcast panel is pretty darn mad.
Well, okay, so
the other third is slightly mad.
Last week on GameStack, I think we were quite heated and vocal about it. But how do we feel now? Still mad?
I'm not mad. I'm just
disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Bethesda.
Yeah, which is where I'm not mad at you, Bethesda. Todd. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. To quote a great lady. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's
just how much can they do to like backpedal on their word before one gets mad and stops playing it. And for me, Fallout First, the private world thing, that was the straw that broke the camel's hump, if you will, for me. Mm-hmm. All right, the loot things, or what is it, the repair kits and the scrap boxes, I can kind of get away with. That's, fine, whatever. You're paying for royal privilege, basically. Your golden toilet, if you will. And
so before we start going deeply into the opinions here, I think we should... I'm sorry, Rick. I'm sorry. Don't look at me that way. But we need to describe what this is.
Yeah.
Because
right.
there are people out there who are like, what are you talking about? Fallout First is a subscription service that has been introduced for Fallout 76. You can obtain it on a monthly or an annual basis. The monthly cost, I believe, is $13, and the yearly cost is $99. And what is included is, first off, private worlds, a private world for you and up to 7 friends. This is not the same thing as a private server because it's not persistent. The private world is only up as long as someone who is a first subscriber is logged in. It also includes a scrap box that includes unlimited storage for crafting components in a special scrap box container. So no more weight limit on your crafting materials. A survival tent, which is a new placeable fast travel point with a stash, a sleeping bag, and more. It includes a little cook fire and some other things. Atoms, you get every month 1,650 atoms to use in the shop. You get a Ranger armor, an NCR Ranger armor outfit. And you get a couple of icons and emotes. The emotes are a Mothman dance and a robot dance, and they're actually pretty fun. So that's what is included in Fallout First. Now go with the opinions. I'm sorry for having to interrupt you.
No, I was just saying the stuff I was mentioning wasn't a part of Fallout First. The repair kits, the refrigerator, things like that weren't a part of the Fallout First thing. And like I can kind of look past that, but they started going down that road of like, we're not going to do the thing. Here's a small portion of the thing, and then here's an even smaller portion of the thing. Here's another thing of the thing. And then they make the prices go up. They make the daily challenges harder to obtain atoms with, so they're kind of, capitalistically shoehorning you into this. It's like not a good version of it either. They're like forcing you to pay for atoms because it's hard to earn them in game, especially with the limited sales that they have. So like, man, I really want it, but I can't get it in time unless I spend money. So that was like kind of like a shyster way of like getting you to spend atoms there. And then it just culminated into Fallout First, and that's when I finally decided to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm done for a while. For a while, I am done. Until I kind of see what they're doing with the NPCs and everything like that. I don't trust Bethesda anymore. Somebody pointed out too that I forget who it was. Might have been Jimquisition. But he pointed out with the private worlds not being private servers, first of all, and I'm not going to ramble on that. They're going to be adding modding to the private worlds, they say, but you can only access them if you pay for Fallout First. So therefore, they're putting mods now behind a paywall. And so what's that going to look like? If modders can modify the servers and do that for free, and you can download the free mods, technically they're not free because you got to pay for them, but are the mods going to get, or are the modders going to get any money from that? I don't know. So
is it really fair to say that when mods aren't a thing yet? Because maybe
are they gonna
that
make
will
it
be
free?
a different. I don't know, but
how? Like, if you're paying for Fallout First, when mods come out, they make private worlds free. How are you gonna feel after paying all that money for your privilege?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like it's maybe not necessarily fair to bag on them for something that hasn't happened yet.
But they say it's going to happen, and right now that's how the chips are falling. They're putting mods in private worlds, but it's going to be always behind this paywall.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I just think it's shady.
I agree. I do agree. Fairness is very important to me. And I feel like that's not necessarily fair to bag on them for something that hasn't happened.
They're not being
yet.
fair.
Yeah, I agree with you there as well, but still.
Okay,
vendor.
Don't look at me that way.
I've had some time to kind of stew about this, and I'm trying to come at this with a level head, and there are some good and bad things about it. The good thing I see is that Bethesda, at the end of the day, Bethesda's a corporation. They're there to make money. They're there to make products and to sell that product. And people who will like it will buy it, and they'll continue to sell it as long as people want it. And I mean, they probably make a profit, but I think we have to remember that there's also human beings at desks in that company working very hard to create this content, and the money that we provide to Bethesda puts food on their tables for their families. So that I always try to keep that in the back of my mind when we're talking about paying for anything video game related. But at the same time, we live in a society where we literally pay for convenience. And I think paying $60 or $80 for a game a year ago and expecting to be awarded all of this extra content for free may not necessarily be fair. And I think that, again, we've talked about the gaming community before and how it's very, very emotionally and politically charged. And people get very outraged very quickly about things. And so I don't know. I'm trying to keep a level head around it. I don't necessarily agree with some of the things they're doing. Like they said, they're trying to be, they're not being transparent. And Shalene, I think you've made a strong point about this before. So they've made private worlds, but it created the illusion that they were private servers, and that's what people wanted.
Yeah.
And when we were wanting that and crying out for that, we should have expected that Bethesda would never give up their IP freely. And so we'll never see Fallout 76 on a third-party server to be purchased. We'll never see that. That will never happen. And that's why we're seeing private worlds, I think. So,
but the other side of that coin is too, Pete Hines did also say that there's going to be new content and changes in the game, balance whatever it takes. And by the way, it's all free after launch. All our content, there's no season pass and no paid DLCs.
Yeah. So he did say that, right? And I think that was in a Sony article or something like that.
Either way, it was a quote directly from him.
Yeah. And that was last year in August.
And it's all about expectations.
It is all about expectations. So, they didn't deliver what they promised on. And yeah, like,
and that's why I say, like, I know that there are people behind desks. I know that they need to get paid, but at the same time, you have to draw a line. You have to put a line in that sand, and if you keep moving that line, then they're going to constantly keep pushing you back, and what they're doing to me isn't fair to the gaming community. I would also agree, though, that none of this is out of line by any sort of standard. It's out of line, I think, for one, they didn't set the expectations. Two, they aren't transparent. And three, it's Fallout, and none of us are used to this with Fallout. Like, everything we've ever gotten was either paid DLC, and we got the bundle. We didn't have to pay any subscription stuff, nothing like that. And that's kind of what we're used to with Fallout. We know how Fallout kind of operates in that world, and this is kind of world breaking in a way. It's just stuff we're not used to. And I think if they were a little bit more communicable, whatever, if they were a little bit more transparent, communicative about what their plans were, and approached it at more of like a level that they usually do things of listening to the community and seeing what they want, that's a different story. If they're like, hey, we want to do this thing, this is our plan, rather than like, boom, this is our plan, and just drop it, it's live now, and we're all like, whoa, what is this, it's and I think we've talked about this privately before. I don't know if we mentioned this on GameStack. It almost feels like there's multiple entities battling in Bethesda right now. Like, Fallout First is the marketing department that has no finger on any pulse whatsoever except for their bank account. And then the content creators are trying to do the best that they can with the world that they know and love, and trying to make it palatable for the gamers that they know and love. Does that make sense? And
well, I mean, the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts. But I think that you're absolutely right. There are people that are influencing the top-down decisions in Bethesda, from finance, from HR, from PR, from engineering, from development.
Yeah.
And I think that what the expectations coming from PR and finance are totally different than the expectations coming from the developers. And I feel like a lot of the game developers are basically being whipped, in a sense, like, we want to make this amount of money, you need to make this happen for us.
Yeah.
This is what we want, like you to make, so that we can make this money. And that's what it's become, unfortunately. But I mean, if we look at it very black and white, they're a company that traditionally put out these role-playing games. You paid $60 once, and they pushed a few updates and tried to make it a little bit better, and that was the end of the game. And then some DLC as well, and which was also free for Fallout 4, which was really nice. With Fallout 76, because of its online nature, they need a sustainable business model. They need to be able to bring in constant revenue to keep that going. I would point out, though, that they haven't charged us to update and improve the quality of the game. I wouldn't say that the quality of the game is improved.
It
But
fluctuates.
the updates that they have spent a lot of time doing are free. And I would expect that to be free because, you know, you launch a half-ass game, we would expect you to sort of, you know, pull up your socks. But those people that are working really hard to try and fix that content, they need to be paid. And if they're pushing free updates, there's no revenue coming in. So we need to see that from microtransactions. But I think that you're right. It is unbalanced. It is unbalanced. We're seeing, you know, these exorbitant amount of dollars being put forth in for microtransactions that are just, is it just me or do they seem a little bit unreasonable? I don't know. I'm not talking just about Fallout First. I'm talking about the Atom Shop and
oh no, it's definitely
like
it's
their
definitely
online merch
unreasonable.
store and stuff like that. But
and here's the thing, though, I don't mind because Vendor, you're right. They have to keep money flowing in this perpetual world, and I gotta say, the experiences that I've had with Shalene, you, and Vendor, and Archon, and all these people playing in Fallout 76, every experience for the most part has been absolutely positive and fun. It's been an enjoyable time. I'm merely done with it for now because of the business practices of Bethesda, because they've become Vault Tech. They've said we're going to do this thing and then subverted us at every angle, and they're like, and we keep spending money like, thank you for the Nuka-Cola with the nuclear isotope in it. We're going to drink it anyway. And I don't appreciate being treated like a sheep. That's my personal opinion, and until I can see some like changes, that's fine. The other thing is too, I don't mind paying for expansions and DLC. I will gladly put down another $50. I would even pay money for the NPC update if it meant that we got what we were told we were going to get, like private servers and not a subscription thing or game altering stuff that sits behind a paywall. I will gladly pay for DLC. It's not a problem. I don't like this. Like, I don't like the what's the game I'm looking for? The World of Warcraft money mentality. I don't like that. Or it's icky to me.
But like, surely profit itself is not an unreasonable motivation.
Absolutely not.
For a corporation to have. I
No,
mean,
no.
sure, but how does profit line up with the other goals and motivations of the company, right? And I think that there's those internal struggles that we see with the departments all trying to work together, but there's also those external influences of people saying, well, we want this and we want this and we're not happy with this and we want you to change this, and at the end of the day, the developers are just like, we just want to make a game, you know, like we just want to come to work and we want to like make something cool.
Didn't Australia kind of have something to say about this, Shalene?
Yeah, but we're not going to get into that just yet. That's later. No. Because, well, I haven't had a chance to talk.
Yeah. What do you think,
You
Shalene?
seemed quiet, and I assumed you were done.
No, I haven't started yet. Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to finish.
We need a moderator.
So you guys have been talking about the big picture, and I'm going to rein it back into the smaller picture.
Okay.
So Fallout First, I don't think the price is ridiculous. I think for what you get, the price is reasonable.
Agreed.
Just for the amount of atoms that you get on a monthly basis, that's a very good deal. A very good deal. If you're somebody who would like to buy atoms on a regular basis and get some of those great outfits and camp items, it's a good price. The survival tint is really great, gives you another fast travel point so that you can put a good fast travel point in a location where you would like one without having to uproot your camp if you're happy about the place where your camp is. That's really handy. The emotes are cute. The ranger armor is very awesome. I'm disappointed in private worlds because I was really hoping for a good private server for our community.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, everyone that I've spoken to who has used the private worlds has had a really positive, really stable experience. Now, stability should be in the base game. I'm not saying it shouldn't. Stability should be a feature of the base game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But that has been a positive thing for a lot of people. A lot of people have enjoyed playing in the private worlds with their friends. My real issue, and the reason that I haven't tried this yet, is the scrap box. I want the scrap box. Like, you guys know me. I'm a hoarder. I have all the things. I'm constantly over encumbered. I want this scrap box. I want this unlimited craft space. But I'm really, I don't feel great about the utility microtransactions. It's such a slippery slope, including utility things as microtransactions. And I'm not sure I can support that. And that's the only reason why I have not tried Fallout First yet. Yeah.
You know, part of me is like, if Bethesda just came out and said, "Hey guys, we got to keep the lights on. We need you to help out." The community would band together because that's what we are. That's who we are. But it's very disappointing that it's just this very passive sort of line of communication that we're seeing.
And that's why I feel like there's like two people talking from Bethesda at us, you know, like people trying to like Pete Hines and those guys are trying to clean up the mess that PR is create or like the marketing has created, you know. And I don't really knock anyone in particular for this, but Shalene, you're right. I mean, it's just, and this is what I was getting at is like, even like they can't ever make the scrap box free ever, because let's say you get Fallout First and you pay for it for 2 years, you've put $200 into it, and then all of a sudden, we're gonna make the scrap box free. Like that invalidates.
Yeah, but they could do that though. Game companies do that kind of thing all the time.
I know, but
all the time.
True. That's true. You're right. That's true.
Hey, you remember that time you paid $60 for Destiny 2?
And it's free now.
It's free now.
Touche.
The thing, and my one final note is that I truly believe now, as I've seen the company evolve over the years, that Bethesda is now putting profit above people, above the people that work for them and above the people they are making the games for. And I think treating people as a means to an end for greater profit is basically the definition of unethical. So, yeah.
I agree, Shalene, that the price is good, and the amount of fake currency you get with it, the atoms, is a lot, and I think that's awesome, and I think that's gonna help ease the pain a little bit of having to buy atoms every month. I think that's great, but yeah, the scrap box is definitely, to me, the private. I wouldn't even mind the scrap box if it was actual private servers, because that would kind of be.
Yeah, cool. If it was a private server, I would have bought it regardless of my personal feelings regarding the utility microtransactions, because I want that so badly for our community. Yes, and that's the thing that angered me the most, is that when the Fallout 76 player base, were telling Bethesda, we want private servers, they knew what we meant. They knew what we were asking for. They're not stupid. They knew what we meant. Yeah. And when they could have set our expectations better. They could have told us, hey guys, private servers is not a thing we can do right now, but we have this other option that we can do that we're bringing to the game. It's really cool. You guys are going to love it. Set our expectations. Tell us the truth. Tell us everything. And this goes back, this is a problem with their messaging since the very, very beginning. They dropped that Country Roads trailer, and it looked like we were getting a game that would be to Fallout 4 what Fallout New Vegas was to Fallout 3. That's what they sold us in that trailer. And then a week later, we find out that it's a completely different experience. It's more of a spin-off than a game in the main line. And that's another thing, to change the subject just a bit. This game is absolutely a spin-off of the main series, and it should be treated as such. I agree with you. Not fair to compare it to the mainline Fallouts. It's because it's not one. It's not. Yeah, this is a different thing. And it should be accepted for what it is.
If we knew what it was, we could accept it. But that's the problem, like you were saying. Like we don't know what it is. They won't tell us.
Yeah.
That said,
here, eat your chocolate cake. You're like,
if you could go back, would you prefer a Fallout 5 or Fallout 76?
No, I wanted this game.
What about you, Shalene?
I like Fallout 76, and I don't have a problem with getting both. And I think that Fallout 76, it wasn't made by Bethesda Prime. It was made by one of the ancillary Bethesda Game Studios offices.
Yep.
It's a spin-off, and it's Fallout content. And we're not going to get Fallout 5 for a long time, you guys. Like, we need to accept that. And I'd rather have some Fallout than no Fallout.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is Fallout that's going to have some legs. They can continue to update it. They can continue to support it as we go on. Otherwise, we're waiting 10 years for Fallout 5. You know, it's going to be a couple of years before we get Starfield. It'll be another 5 or 6 before we get another Elder Scrolls. And then another development cycle before we get an additional Fallout, if that's even what they decide to do next. Maybe Starfield will take off and they'll start doing Starfield and Elder Scrolls. But yeah, I don't know. I like Fallout 76. I've had a great time with it.
You know, me too.
There are problems, of course, but I feel like this game deserves a chance. It deserves a chance to become, you know, its final product. It deserves a chance to evolve into its final form.
Man, gaming has come to a long way where like a game has been out, a AAA game has been out for a year, and we're like, it deserves a chance to become the game. And it's like, it's been in development for how many years? It's been out for a year, and yet we're still saying to give it a chance to become a game? Like that.
Well,
that's
yeah.
crazy to think about how we've gotten to this point. It's just the whole shape of the industry's changed, man. Like we can put out a game and it could be broken, then we can fix, and we're like, yeah, it's fine. You know, give me something. I'll buy something broken. You can fix it later.
Yeah, it's a different. The gaming industry is completely different, even than when we started podcasting just a few years ago.
Yeah.
But it's funny because then you've got Obsidian coming out of left field, and they just do this thing, and like the old version of the gaming industry still works.
Oh, here's a game. Oh, here's another game.
I don't know, man. It's just it's so interesting to see all this play out, and yeah.
I think Obsidian is a perfect example of, if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Unless it's New Vegas, then fix.
Yes.
Well,
and that's another thing that's important to remember. New Vegas launched in way worse shape than Fallout 76 did.
It did.
And let's just not just have rose-colored glasses on our memories, you guys.
Oh no, those games were bad.
Yeah, I never played Fallout New Vegas when it first came out. I played it like a year after.
Oh, Vendor, it was so bad. The first 3 months.
It was so good when I played it.
Wearing a hat. Didn't you say wearing a hat walking into with the strip, something like that, Shalene?
Yeah, I had to wear a specific hat to access the strip. Because if I wasn't wearing that particular hat, if I would load into the strip, if I would open that area, it would hard lock my Xbox.
I love it. So anyway, moving on, because we don't want to harp on this for too long. I don't think any longer. Shalene, you are holding out hope. Me and Vendor are looking at a bleak future.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm like I said before, I think NPCs may just be Fallout 76's saving grace.
That's what I'm waiting for.
But I'm
probably not going to pick it up I'm probably not going to play it again until NPCs come out.
Yeah.
And I'm so angry with Bethesda about the timing, and this is just a personal thing entirely, but I cleared Jim Justice's quest log. I was ready to launch a nuke. I was like, tomorrow I'm going to talk to Rick about launching a nuke. And the very next day, Fallout First, half my friends quit the game. I was so sad.
They did a preemptive strike.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to launch a nuke, and Bethesda was like, not today.
Combobulator asks, when is Wastelanders coming out?
Speaking of when is Wastelanders coming out, Wastelanders, the NPC update, has been delayed into spring of 2020. And they stated in a blog post on Bethesda.net I'm just going to read this little paragraph. We've been hard at work on Fallout 76 this year, including our biggest free update yet, Wastelanders. We're excited about how Wastelanders is coming together, but it's going to need more time to be the best, most polished update it can be. So we're delaying its release to Q1 of next year. We've continued to reevaluate and change our processes to make sure that what we're doing hits our quality bar and yours. We apologize for this delay, but know it will be worth the extra time.
It better be.
I can't wait to see what polished means.
Yeah, I'd rather it be delayed than bad. So
at least they delayed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I bet you double or nothing, it's a flop.
Well, I
thought
think
you said
we
you
should...
were cautiously optimistic.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I never said I was confident.
I think we should let them make their game.
That's a really good distinction.
I think we should let them make their game, and then we should try it and see how it is.
Yeah.
Cautiously optimistic, but I never said I was confident. That
and
needs to be a show title.
If we're still disappointed, we can ask for a refund. Just like some Australian players did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is kind of a big deal, this Australia thing.
Yeah, it is.
The Australia's Competition and Consumer Commission published a statement today stating that ZeniMax Media, the parent company of Fallout, accepted that their actions were likely to have contravened the Australian consumer law. So anyone who has purchased the game between launch and June 1st of 2019 can request a refund. If they receive a refund, they will no longer be able to access the game. Wow. And the statement listed, this is from a Polygon article, by the way, by ONS Good. The statement listed problems with the servers, lagging, graphic and visual problems as faults within Fallout 76 that were significant enough to warrant a refund. And ZeniMax acknowledged that its customer service representatives are likely to have misled certain Australian customers about their rights to a refund when they experienced faults with their Fallout 76 game. And the commission also stated, when a consumer has purchased a product that has a fault which amounts to a major failure, the Australian consumer law provides them with the right to ask for their choice of either a repair, replacement, or a refund. And the rights to a refund will, of course, vary based on your jurisdiction. And in the United States, consumer recourse typically comes through a seller's policies. Xbox and PlayStation 4's online marketplaces do not offer return for online purchases. Steam and Epic have have refund policies, but there are stipulations. You have to return the game within 2 weeks of purchase and with less than 2 hours of gameplay. And earlier this year as well, in related news, Activision agreed to a settlement refunding buyers of Guitar Hero Live after they turned off the streaming music library, basically ending players' ability to play that game. But this isn't directly related to the misleading dialogue that's been around the utility microtransactions, the changing face of the Atom Shop, and Fallout First. This is about the base problems with Fallout 76 in terms of the game's performance. And I feel like this could be a really significant precedent in the industry. What do you guys think?
I'd say that it's a stretch what they're asking for. So, but
why do you think it's a stretch?
I mean, because it's like, I don't know, like to me, this is more of a political statement, a protest, if you will, than an actual want of a refund back. That's how I see this. I see this as like, this is so far off what we wanted, so we're going to ask for a refund using these statutes as a way to protest what they're doing. And draw attention to it. That's how I see this. I don't see that anyone thinks it's going to come of anything. If it does, that's going to I don't think it's going to change anything, honestly.
I think that this is a good example that things are starting to get very messy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I really do think, something did come of this, Rick. Something did come of it. These people have a right to a refund. And I think that hitting them in the pocketbook is a way to make a corporation listen to you.
Oh, absolutely.
And I the fact that they achieved this legal recourse it sets a precedent. After somebody does it, other people are more likely to be able to get it done as well. And I think it's an important precedent. I hope that it makes companies open their eyes and think about what they're releasing. I would like to have games that are done when I buy them.
No, I agree with you. I definitely do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Our final news article for the day is a bit of a zany Kotaku story.
Yes, we love these.
This is so ridiculous. The headline here, this is a story by Heather Alexandra. Fallout First is creating a class divide among Fallout 76 players. And this article describes class wars between Fallout 76 players, that people who are using their campsite, their scrap box, their custom emotes that show that they purchased Fallout First, that these players are being griefed by other players who did not purchase the service. And they have
Really?
a couple of instances where they've spoken to players who have experienced this, but I think they really just kind of, I'm not going to say that they made this up, but this is kind of fake news, you guys. Like, I know a lot of people who purchased Fallout First. I've played about 20 hours of Fallout in the last 3 days. I haven't seen anything like this. I haven't heard about anything like this. I feel
It
like
seems kind of predatory.
yeah.
The article
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
I feel like this is clickbait. Yeah. Archon
totally.
hasn't seen any of this personally, and he's put in a lot more hours than I have. And I know some of my dear friends among the Dames Who Game and others have purchased the subscription and have had a great experience with it and haven't seen this.
Yeah.
Which
brings me back to my original hypothesis. Is it all one big social experiment?
Could
it
be.
absolutely is.
Could be.
Bethesda is Vault Tech confirmed.
Government funded.
The last thing that I wanted to say, though, someone said in the chat, basically along the lines of, can we talk about any older Fallouts? Because all we do is talk about Fallout 76, and it's kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say that we had a meeting, and this whole thing gave us all a big rethink about what we're doing here, the longevity of the show, where we're headed. And we decided that we really need to take a look back a bit more at why we fell in love with these games, and look at articles about nuclear war, and look at IRL stuff. And it just made us kind of you know what, we do need to kind of steer our focus away from 76 entirely and kind of go back to some of the stuff that we loved and how it ties
Not
in with
entirely. Not
for
now.
No, not steering away from 76.
We're still going to be covering 76 news, and
Absolutely.
I'm still going to be playing for the 76.
I might have said that wrong, but because we haven't been really looking back. We haven't been looking at IRL stuff. We haven't done a lot of those segments. We had a couple preparedness segments and things of that nature, but all I'm saying is Bethesda has thrown us a curveball in making us have to work harder for this show, and that's not fair.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We build their content for them, for their game, by giving them ideas, so now they've done this thing to challenge us to make our show better. So.
Yeah, I think it was L Yankee in the chat who had said it doesn't have to just be about Fallout 76.
And
all I'm
you're
saying
right.
is it won't be.
We hear you.
And that wasn't the intent when we began the show. We never intended this to be strictly specific to Fallout 76. We always meant that it would be a Fallout series show, a show about the franchise, a show about post-apocalyptia.
What we can guarantee, though, is that most of the news will be about Fallout 76.
Yeah, because that's where the news is.
Yeah. So, but you can like our gameplay is very diverse, as is our special segments. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make note of that to let
But
anybody.
yes, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I
You know
wanted
what? I am so stressed out right now. I would really like to go shopping.
Oh, a little retail therapy.
Speaking of retail therapy, vendor, let's get into some ballistic bargains.
Sounds like a great idea. Well, guys, if you're still playing Fallout 76 and you still like to throw money at Bethesda, you can find some great items in the Atomic Shop as of October 29th. Update 14 items and sales have dropped, and they've added a bunch of new items to the Atom Shop, including a bunch of Halloween themed stuff. So there actually is a free item that is available in the Atom Shop right now until November 5th, and that is the jack-o'-lanterns. It's a smiling jack-o'-lantern, and
wonderful.
it's really cute. It lights up and it
Stackable
casts a
hay
shadow.
bales.
There are some limited time offers for the Halloween event, so you want to make sure that you pick these up. There is a Halloween decoration bundle, which is really adorable. It has like a witch that, you know, those witches that like they hang on the wall, but it looks like they ran into the wall. That's super cute. And then there's a cardboard cutout of like a Fallout Boy vampire and a scarecrow and stuff like that. So make sure you check that out. They've also added gladiator outfit and jack-o'-lantern loot bags, as well as a coffin backpack and a bone tamboo skin, which are all available all week long. The Halloween camp bundle is also still available for a little bit longer. You can add it to your collection and to get a variety of items to add to your spooky Halloween house, including a Halloween fog machine. Huh? Isn't that great?
It sounds spooky.
The Halloween bundle also includes a coffin vending machine, jack-o'-lanterns, vintage Halloween decor set, Mr. Fuzzy Halloween plushie, and stackable hay bales, which I think is pretty rad. So just to quickly revamp, until November 5th, you can get the Trick Candy Bowl, Coffin Backpack, Squished Witch Decoration, Vampire Vault Boy Cutout, Jack-O-Lantern Loot Bag, Gladiator Outfit, and the Halloween Decorative Bundle. Which has the vampire costume has already left the Atomic Shop, so unfortunately you can't get that. But until the 5th, you can also get Samurai Outfit, Spooky Halloween Turret Pack, Coffin Vending Machine, and then until November 8th, you can get the Vintage Halloween Decor Set and the Mr. Fuzzy Halloween Plushie. Till the 9th, you can get the Jack-O'-Lanterns Astonished and Evil, as well as the stackable hay bales. And then the 10th, you can get the Blackbird Super Sledge Paint and the Gag Glasses set, which is like 3D or like googly eyes. And then I think there's also Mothman eyes, which I saw somebody post on Twitter they had. It looked really cool. There are some items returning to the Atomic Shop. The Survivalist outfit, you can get that for 800 atoms, as well as the Bad News Billy outfit. You can also get the Pirate Hat, the Mothman camera for 300 atoms, and the Imposter Sheep Squatch Assaultron head for 500 atoms. On sale is the Modern Fireplace, the Mothman effigy, Rock Out photo mode pose, and Lying Out photo mode pose. And then a number of existing items are heading out of the Atomic Shop and into the vault. So before they go, those are on sale as well. You can find the Future Tech flag set, metal stairs, high-tech stash box, modern ceiling fan, satellite dish. There's a satellite dish? Bone totem set, the invader, and point to the sky photo mode pose, as well as the red hot player icon. And just quickly, very last, weekly sales include until November 5th, the Fancy Bar set, as well as Slocum Joe's Neon Billboards. That's ends today. The Tire Outhouse ends tomorrow. Alien plushie ends on Sunday, and then the Vault Boy 2000 plushie ends on November 4th. But those ones, the Alien plushie isn't available until tomorrow, and the Vault Boy 2000 plushie isn't available till Sunday. And they only have one new item coming to the Atomic Shop, and that is the Bone Tambo, which is a skin that goes on to the Death Tambo. But man, that's quite a list of stuff that they've got.
Can I tell you that despite my differences with Fallout 76, everything in their Atom shop I want because it's beautiful, cute, and amazing. And I am going to be screwed when it comes to Christmas because, gosh, I love Christmas.
I will give it to Bethesda and the dev team. They're doing a great job creating this content.
Yes, they are.
They're doing a fantastic job.
How much of it did you buy, Shalene?
I bought a photo mode pose. I haven't spent any money though.
That's it?
Not any additional money. I've only spent the money that I've told you guys.
Have you gotten the free lanterns? Have you decorated for Halloween?
The jack-o'-lantern? Yeah, I have a jack-o'-lantern in front of my house and also a Grim Reaper Vault Boy cutout in front of my house.
That's cool.
Yes. And I have I've been running the Halloween event. Well, I'll talk about that later.
Nice.
Yeah. So, speaking of the gameplay. Now, I didn't play it all. Vendor, did you?
No.
Let's throw it to Shalene.
Well, hold on. I do want to point out, okay, eons ago in the summer, I think it was, maybe August, beginning of September, when we did a TFS episode, I had promised people that I was going to do a TFS Nailed It challenge of making the Mirelurk crab legs, which I didn't do. So don't be disappointed. But part of the reason is because I got really busy. And another part of the reason is I don't eat crab. And I'm just not going to lie to you and make it and say that it was delicious. I'm just not going to make it. So we're reviving TFS Nailed It and picking a new recipe from the cookbook.
I'm
Nice.
so excited. This is one of my favorite segments of the show.
So are you guys ready?
It is dope.
You ready?
I was
I'm going to
born
pick
ready.
somewhere in the
Ready.
middle. Oh, okay. We are making Mutant Mantis Marsala. This is the picture. I will. So
Is
Mutant Mantis
Tiki Marsala?
Marsala. Yeah, chicken Marsala.
That
I
looks
like
tasty.
Marsala. So that's good. Yeah, I'm really excited. Boneless chicken breast, all-purpose flour, cornstarch, black pepper, blah 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 blah. This is going to be really tasty. So I will make this and report back in 2 weeks. I'm very excited. I was actually just talking to Victoria Rosenthal, who is the author of the Fallout Cookbook. I was asking her today if she had any plans or if there were plans in the works for making a Outer Worlds cookbook. And she said, well, if Bethesda would invite me to do one, I would certainly take them up on that offer.
You mean Obsidian?
Obsidian.
Did I say Bethesda?
Yes, you did.
I meant Obsidian. Obsidian.
It's
Thanks,
a Freudian
guys.
slip.
Yeah, Freudian slip. She said she was waiting.
Freudian
If
slip?
Obsidian had invited her, she would do it. So I like tweeted them. I'm like, make it happen.
Look at you and your
But
friends in high
she
places.
did say what was that, Rick?
Look at you and your friends in high places.
She did say that she's going to be streaming making some recipes
Ooh,
from Outer Worlds next week. So
very
if you
cool.
don't follow her already on Twitch, her name is Pixelated Vika, Vicka, and she often streams cooking, and it's wonderful.
Wonderful.
So chicken marsala. Off to you, Shalene.
Great. I'm really excited that you've brought back this segment. It's one of my favorite things that we've done
Yes.
in the show. I just, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the pictures and the progress pictures. It's going to be so good.
By the way, real quick, I love the fingernails, Shalene.
Oh, thank you. I went
Great.
with a nice orange for Halloween.
Right,
Yeah.
for Halloween.
Yeah. Thank you. So I played a ton of Fallout 76 this week because of the Halloween event. 99% of that time was spent co-op with Archin. And just to give you a little rundown of what the Halloween event is, since I'm the only one who played it, you go to White Spring. It starts every hour at the top of the hour. And this little iBot gives you some jobs. And first, she unleashes you on the park area of the White Spring, where you light bonfires, blow up cars, attack robots. And then she unleashes you on the cottages, where you blow up cars, go trick-or-treating from house to house, just getting candy out of the bowls. Some of the bowls explode on you. Some of them have live landmines in them.
Oh, really?
And of course,
Nice.
the ghouls that always spawn in those cottages spawn while you're doing the event. So you're fighting off these high-level ghouls while trying to trick-or-treat and blow up cars, and there's just zaniness happening everywhere. Mayhem, total mayhem. And you can graffiti the walls, which is really fun. You can pick from some different a few different designs of wall graffiti. I always go with the Mothman effigy, spreading the word of our savior, the Mothman. And then the third stage takes you to the courtyard right in front of the White Springs doors. And there you can do some trick-or-treating, you can fight the robots, and you can fork the lawn, which apparently is a thing I'd never heard of. But you stick plastic forks in the lawn, I guess, as a tripping hazard. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But that's actually one of my favorite parts of the event is forking the lawn. I find it quite funny. And you get extra points, you get an extra reward if you wear a costume while you do this. At the end of the event, a legendary sentry bot rolls out of the White Spring. Everybody fights him, and that's it. And you get the rewards. There are some plans for different jack-o'-lanterns and Halloween-themed decorations. And you can get some costumes and costume pieces. And you can get some special outfits, including a pirate outfit, which is really cool. Captain Bones has been really lucky in terms of his the drops he's gotten. He got the pirate outfit like right away. There's a White Springs caddy jumpsuit that you can get. There's a special fireman outfit. There is and there's two orange like Halloween themed suits. One of them is a short suit and one of them is a pantsuit. And they're very fabulous. So that's the Halloween event. And
cool. Sounds like you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've run it a bunch of times. Let me just roll through some of my stories of the week.
Okay.
We have some shenanigans. So we were at the White Spring and someone had nuked it pretty recently. I don't remember if this was just before or just after the event, but we were in that little parking lot behind the White Spring, you know, where the mole rat always jumps out at you.
Yeah.
And like 20 bloated, glowing ghouls just swarmed us. They were just all around us. It was like a mosh pit of green glowing ghouls. And I'm just punching like a lunatic. And Archon is standing on a roof. He tells me to run. I run the wrong direction. He's like, "You're running the wrong direction." I run a different direction. So I get up on the roof where it's safe, finally, and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to go down and fight these ghouls." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to stay here and protect the rooftop." So he goes down and he's fighting the ghouls, and I'm like trying to cure my rads or something. He comes back and he's like, "Wow, look at my tiny sliver of health." And you couldn't see it at all. It was just his whole health bar was red. He had a single hit point. He went down to a single hit point. Whoa. I didn't know that was even possible. A single hit point.
That's
it was
crazy.
Hilarious. Yeah. And I accidentally blew up a car and that killed the rest of the ghouls. So.
And also Archon.
Well, we don't have to talk about that.
Much like the grenade and Vendor one time. Just blew his legs off.
Yeah.
There are some challenges that you can only get by completing Nuclear Winter challenges. There are a few. There were a couple of weapon skins, and now I think there are some armor skins. And between rounds of Halloween event, we thought, well, hey, let's do this Nuclear Winter, do a couple rounds of Nuclear Winter, and get these weapon skins. Mm-hmm. So Archon and I boot up a level of Nuclear Winter. It's going pretty well. You know, it's Battle Royale. It's fine. We get teamed up with a couple of other guys. They're kind of idiots, but it's fine. And we're walking. We're trying to stay inside the circle. And so I'm at this rock. I'm trying to hop up this wall because we're going to the dam, right? And at this damn wall, by the damn rock,
I knew that's where that was going.
I got stuck. I like clipped into the rock and I got stuck and I couldn't get out. And I couldn't get out. And the circle kept closing in, but I was in a lucky area because the circle was closing around me. So I was clipped into this rock and I was just scanning my surroundings. It was going fine. I had my long range weapon. Everything was okay. I couldn't move, but the circle was closing in around me. And so finally, the next circle is going to go a little bit to the left of me or to the right of me. So it's all over now. It's all over. You know, I'm not going to live. I can't move. I'm not going to be inside the circle anymore. So I'm like, Archon, save yourself. You know, don't worry about me. Just go live, save yourself, live your life. And he's like, okay. And he takes off. And I'm there.
All right, bye.
Did you hesitate at least?
Not a little bit, not even a little bit. He just took off to go live his best life. And as I stood there and watched the wall of fire close fully in on my position, I saw our two teammates die, and then I saw Archon die, and I was the last one alive on the team. And the fire gets there. I slam a stim pack. I'm like trying to live. And I made it to number 7 in the round.
What?
I was number 7, stuck
That's
in
awesome.
the rock. And I got stuck in the rock within minutes of the game starting. Like within minutes of the beginning of the match.
That's like equivalent to your passive PUBG story.
Yes, I was like, oh, what if I win?
That would be so funny if like the circle closed on you where you were stuck and nobody could find you because you were stuck. Oh, that would be so brilliant.
I thought it might happen. I really did. And I had a great ranged weapon. I thought, you know what? I could maybe take somebody out before they get me because I had my back to the cliff and I would have seen them first, you know. But I made it to number 7 and it was awesome. I loved it.
Nice.
And then we'd been running some events between Halloween events, and we were doing the one at the carnival. I forget the name of that carnival every time. Camden Park.
Mm-hmm.
Camden Park.
Sure.
We were running the events at Camden Park, and I hear this gasp of like happy surprise, like, like what's going on? And Archon says, I have 150 Mr. Fuzzy tokens. And he's all excited. So he goes to turn in his tokens. And the prize for 150 tokens is the Mr. Fuzzy mascot suit. And let me tell you, this Mr. Fuzzy mascot suit is a thing of beauty. It's glorious. It's utterly ridiculous. It looks very similar, you know, the Mr. Fuzzy plushies. It has the big old cat feet.
Mm-hmm.
It has the bow, like the long draping bow, and it has a tail, a long fluffy tail. It's not like the little bobtail. It's a long fluffy tail. It's amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
And the head that goes with this outfit costs 300 tokens, so he can't afford the head yet, right? But he says like, hey, I think I know what's going to go with this outfit. I have to go back to my camp. So we travel back to his camp and I'm waiting in the entryway, playing the guitar. And I hear him just tinkering away on the crafting bench in the back. And he's like, okay. So I stand up and he's like, wait, don't come in yet. So he's like changing back there in the back room. He's like, okay, come in. And I go in and he's wearing the Easter Bunny head. Guys, that pairing of the Mr. Fuzzy suit with the Easter Bunny head is just, it's magnificent. It's just glorious. And it was so funny playing with him in this ridiculous, ludicrous outfit. The tail wiggles when he runs.
No.
And I haven't laughed that much, guys, in ages. Just the little tail. It was
great.
so funny. It was so funny. And a little while later, we were doing some inventory management, and somebody launched a nuke. He goes to check, and he's like, "Oh, it's at the Scorch Beast Queen down in the corner." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And we're just in silence working on our inventory management. And Archin says, "Wait, we have to go to the Scorch Beast Queen, and you have to be my battle photographer."
An NPR war correspondent.
And I was like, "Oh, this is the best idea you've ever had."
That is a pretty damn good idea.
I get out my camera because I think it'll be more fun doing it with the camera than with the actual photo.
Yeah.
And we go to the Scorch Beast, and he's in this outfit. Fighting the Scorch Beast Queen, and I'm just following behind him, like, like I felt like the photojournalist for time. Like, it was so amazing. It was just, it was so entertaining.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know if I got a single shot in on the Scorch Beast Queen, because I was just being a photojournalist, and it was amazing. It was so fun. And then at the Scorch Beast Queen, guess who we ran into? Bit Trash Riot. Oh, yes, one half of the composition team behind our theme song. And so we got to fight the Scorch Beast Queen with Bit Trash, and he has a very charming German accent.
Bit Trash Riot could read me bedtime stories. You guys. Yeah.
It's just
he has a very lovely, soothing voice.
Yeah. He's very friendly and fun to play with. It's really funny because like when situations get like really like out of hand in the game, he's like totally calm and collected, and I'm like freaking out, right? Yeah, makes it fun to play with.
I can't wait to like hang out with him one day and be like, "Oh wait, let me talk. I'm fluent in German. So we should go after the Scorch Beast and destroy him." Das Scorch Beast, sorry.
Oh my gosh, Rick, you're the worst.
We apologize
you're
on
the worst.
behalf of our co-host.
Do you know how to say German in German? Yeah, German.
And yeah, but in the chat, somebody was asking about the pictures from the wartime photo shoots, and those are posted on Twitter, on my Twitter, SHALINEL. So
nice.
You can find those. Well, yeah, I mean, plainly, that's why I'm here. Just growing my Twitter fame so that I can ditch this podcast and be a Twitter influencer. But yeah, it was really fun. Anyways, Bit Trash. We went by his camp, and he had this really neat camp with this checkerboard floor and ceiling. It was quite lovely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he was telling us that it wasn't finished. He had only worked on it for a little while. And I was like, well, it's pretty good. Like, I think you did a good job. He's like, no. And he's like, I don't even have a stool for you to sit down. I would offer you lemonade, but I don't have any resources.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
So I built him a couch so that he wouldn't feel bad about me standing around. So I built a couch and sat on it.
Do you remember a month ago when I was like, Bit Trash Riot is the nicest person I've met on the internet? It's true. Yeah. It's true.
He's a lovely man. He's a very lovely man.
He's like, oh no, I don't have any chairs for you.
Yeah.
Let me go bake some cookies.
So that was a very charming experience, getting to hang out with Bit Trash. And one thing that I wanted to be sure and mention is that we were hanging out, and he was all happy, you know, hanging out. And he says, Shalene, can I ask you a question? I'm like, of course. And he says, is it intentional that Jim Justice looks a little bit like Rick?
Is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, the pink hair is a dead giveaway.
I think it's the sideburns, maybe? I don't know.
It's the chops, maybe. I don't know. Like, back
Do
in
you
the
think
day,
Jim Justice looks like Rick?
I think back in the day, Rick had more of a pompadour.
He did.
But now it's more slick and buzzed on the sides, which I like this hairdo better, by the way. So
I don't know.
It's
they
usually a
both look
pompadour.
nice,
I use different products in my hair today.
Yeah, but I don't know. You've got it cut different. I like this.
Yeah, with the side. It's more of the Elder Maxon do.
Yeah, my wife likes the undercut thing, and it's easier to manage that way.
I was wondering, like, is this saying something about my subconscious that this character looks like Rick? Like,
What does it say about me?
I don't know.
I'm a
Jim Justice
cross-dressing-
definitely wears more eyeliner than you do.
I'm a cross-dressing governor of West Virginia. I mean,
I don't know.
Where's
There's
my cousin?
something sassy in all of us,
That was
Rick.
really interesting. I did notice that I had 100 pounds of grenade launcher ammo in my pockets. So
No, Pennsylvania just says, Vendor, why are you phantom knitting? And I looked up and he is just moving his hand like this.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
Get
fiddling
another
with
beard sliver.
I'm fiddling with a screw that was sitting on my
Yeah.
desk.
It just looked like it was.
That's it. That's it. I'm gonna do this for the rest of the show now. Phantom crocheting.
What if he just like dropped does this is the whole show and at the end it just pulls up a scarf?
Pair mittens.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. That would be so delightful. Yeah. But that's
Sorry
really
for
the
the
end of my
outburst.
gameplay. That's fine. I realized
Wow.
I had 100 pounds of grenade launcher ammo, so I've just been grenading everything. It's been quite fun. I found an automatic grenade launcher to shoot them with.
Yeah. They break so fast though.
They do. Archon has the perk where you can repair it to 200%, so that helps.
You get like 15 shots out of it.
I think it's more than that, but
Okay, 20.
anyway, it was fun regardless.
Awesome.
So yeah, played a lot of Fallout 76. Had a lovely time.
Good. We haven't done a challenge for a while, but we did one, I guess, 3 fortnights
A month ago.
I'm excited.
A month of Sundays ago. And it's we asked you guys to submit pictures of you folks trick-or-treating. And guess what?
Reverse trick or treating.
Reverse trick-or-treating.
Leaving treats at the camps
Leaving
of
treats, right.
that they
Yeah,
found.
reverse trick-or-treating. And you guys have delivered, so let's check it out. Bloom. All right, so we've got Unlooted Vault here. And he's got a whole bunch of different things going on. He says, for this week's challenge, I traveled around Appalachia delivering Mentats and perk bubblegum to everyone who has a door. Most people don't.
Nice.
And so he's in various outfits, and he has been giving out candies and goodies in brown paper bags on front people's porches. Then you've got Vexinator here doing the same thing. Thought I would go out and do some reverse trick-or-treating in my clown costume and skull mask. And he's at a nice little camp playing, just, taking up somebody's instrument. Doesn't know whose instrument it is. He's just been using it. Our wonderful German listener, Bit Trash Riot, he's got a whole myriad of pictures of him doing reverse trick-or-treating at different people's houses.
I love the little bag on the steps.
I know, it's great. Gingerly put there.
It's so polite.
Yeah, right? Oh, it's good.
We have Captain Bones here. He's doing reverse trick-or-treating to someone standing at the pumpkin house.
Oh,
they're
I like
doing
the
they're
bags.
doing the little gift, the little emote bag, the bag emote.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like money or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Money?
So guys,
cool.
I need to point out that Captain Bones's challenge entry was picked up for the Around Appalachia feature that Bethesda.net runs.
Cool.
Yeah, and they gave him 5,000 atoms, I think, for featuring his
Nice.
photo.
Dang! Look at
Yeah,
that.
so congratulations, Captain Bones, and we need to always make our challenges sync up with the Around Appalachia theme, so that we can get that free advertising.
Well, and it was also very clever of Captain Bones to hashtag Fallout 76 and at Fallout in that tweet. I know that we're always telling
Yeah.
people to include the hashtag TFS challenge, but
We
that was clever.
need attention. We do.
Yes, we crave your validation.
This one's Combobinator. I hope I'm saying that right. I really like this a lot. So he's also delivering to the pumpkin house. Although it looks like
gosh,
he's
I just
scarily
love that
pointing.
Mr. Gutsy.
I love the pumpkin house.
The pumpkin house
Photo
is
mode
like
thing.
made for it's just so perfect, right?
It is perfect.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen pictures of it in real life? It's awesome looking.
Have you been there?
Yeah,
Really?
No, I was just looking at pictures of it.
Dave Chaffins has posted several pumpkin house photos from the pumpkin house in our Discord, so you can check those out.
Nice.
They're very cool. We got co-op in crime here, creepily sneaking into people's houses and reverse trick-or-treating. Nasty Mr. Nasty Clown mask on. He's just like, I'm just going to leave this person some drugs.
Hey kids, you want some candy?
Nefty Snile is also trick-or-treating, reverse trick-or-treating at the pumpkin house. In a witch costume. Which costume? The witch costume. And Skull Can is reverse trick-or-treating at the Halloween shop where we usually find our costumes at. It looks like he had what is it? Freddy had played a trick on me with a glowing Wendigo and charred ghouls. And that takes us back to Unlooted Vault. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking your time and making some awesome challenge entries for us. And sorry it took us. Well, I guess it's perfectly timed actually for us, the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was perfectly timed. We planned
next
that.
week's what?
We planned that.
Yeah, we totally did.
Yeah.
Totally. Next week's challenge takes us into our conspiracy segment. And the challenge is find those glyphs. And before I explain what find those glyphs is, you can submit your challenge photos to us by going on Twitter, posting your... That fan.
I thought something blew up.
Nope. I was just snapping my fan. I'm sorry. I have nervous hands.
This challenge is find these glyphs. And to submit your challenge photos, go to Twitter, post the photo with a hashtag of TFS challenge. We don't look at any other platform besides Twitter for those because it's just easy for the organizational side of it. So please do it there. And again, that's hashtag TFS challenge. Now, the glyphs. To explain what these glyphs are, I have to start back at the beginning. And today on what was that conspiracy show that used to be on like TV and stuff like that? Anything? Anybody?
I feel like there have been a few.
It was
Was
it Close Encounters?
I don't know, but anyway, I was gonna try to do
Outer Limits.
Let's just go with do.
No, I was trying to do the tonight we go inside the mystery of everything. No, so it all started at Vault Tech University. One day, I was just minding my own business, and out of nowhere, flashbang alakazam, I find this terminal called Michael Blake's Terminal, and it had a couple entries in it that I thought were quite interesting. And the entry one was called Guidestone Translation. Okay, so click that, and it says, Jake Wellen has instructed me that she would feel safer. Sorry, it's Jacqueline.
I feel like that would be your. I feel like that would be your new drag name, Rick.
Jake Wellen. Well, every time I see a name that was in that Key and Peele skit, I just read it that way. So Aaron, I always read Aaron, and Blake, and Jake Wellen. That's how I read it. So anyway, Jake Wellen has instructed me that she would feel safer if I moved the translation key offline. The woman is paranoid, but I don't disagree that it's for a good reason. It is because of this that she insists on keeping the original notes with her. She says it's for the best, just in case someone gets to one of us so none of us have all the pieces. Even Agent Wilson's taking precautions. We could be onto something big here. Then again, I still maintain the runes are simply ancient petroglyphs left by the indigenous peoples of the region. Jaqueline believes that they may be extraterrestrial in nature, but I'll stick with Occam on this one. The hypothesis with the fewest assumptions is often the correct one. Entry 2. Jacqueline brought more of her notes around the other day. Still not sure what to make of those runes. They don't match any of the native petroglyphs in the area, nor do they match any of the old European runes that I would have expected. Still, I'm confident that I will find a match somewhere, and if not, there may be enough to go on to piece together a rough idea of what they say, if anything. I'm beginning to think that they may be nonsense, but I'm intrigued. And then entry 3 states, I had a chance to go study the Horse Creek petroglyphs in person. I've been meaning to do so ever since moving to West Virginia. They have always fascinated me. The idea that Europeans landed in North America and traveled that far inland during the 6th or 7th century is fascinating. Now, whether it was written in Old Irish, Ogham, Basque, or some other ancient language is up for debate. Okay, so this is the the 3 entries that got me intrigued, to say the least. A mention of the Horse Creek petroglyphs being in West Virginia. The fact that this person went there in the world, at least in the Fallout world.
Yeah.
And that there's other people involved and there's a translation key. So I'm starting to think, I wonder if these petroglyphs exist somewhere. Horse Creek. So I started looking at like different areas of the river, that sort of thing, and I couldn't find anything. And Agent Wilson. So I decided to Fallout Wiki, whatever, Agent Wilson. Turns out he is also in the game for a few reasons. Agent Wilson, his name is Curtis Wilson. He's a BADTFL agent, and he was assigned to investigate the Free States with Sheriff Darcy before the Great War. And they publicly busted a gun smuggling ring that the Free States were involved in. But together they found a conspiracy that originated at the highest levels of government. And Wilson quit his job to actually investigate this conspiracy. It's never really stated what this conspiracy is. As part of the investigations, Wilson looked into local Vault-Tec University student Shelby O'Rourke, who he'd encountered while she was setting up a thesis study into local cryptids. You can also find Shelby's cabin in the woods, and that starts the hunting daily quest. So, side note there. After the bombs fell, Wilson and Darcy found certain doors open that were previously closed to the government because, well, there was no government really anymore. But there was still this conspiracy that they were investigating. Darcy, the sheriff, ended up killed mysteriously, and Wilson locked his terminal and went into hiding. So it's never really stated that Wilson's alive or dead. He's just in hiding now. And his terminal is locked. And you can actually go to Agent Wilson's, it's called the Agent's Cabin, I think is what it is. And you can go there and you can find his terminal and take a peeky peek at it. And however, every entry in there, except for like just a main one, is locked. And there's an entry in there called Mysterious Guidestones, and it's locked. Right? So, dead end. So, there's a third piece to this puzzle here. In the data files of the game, if you take like a library searcher thing and you can go into the actual game files, you can go in, and if you look for the term Guidestone, you will find 3 texture files. You will find, so there's 3 texture files. There's a purple one, there's a green one, and then there are the in-game texture colors. All right? And it's like a palette almost. So like you would imagine. So the green ones are really, really easy to see the petroglyphs on. Okay. And the ones that are in game are harder to see because they're like gray, and then like the petroglyph lines are darker gray, so it's kind of hard to see. And I raised this whole thing up to the Discord. I was like, guys, I think I'm onto something here. And then I put this whole thing. We just started talking about it in the Discord. Discordian Madman, his name is Madman in the Discord, posted the Reddit. So he found, somebody on Reddit found these in-game files, and they posted them on Reddit. So Madman took them and posted them into the Discord. But then he started to notice something. So Madman cut the petroglyphs, he cut like the images, and moved them around, and they make a map. These petroglyphs make a freaking map. But the map has nothing to do with any of the in-game areas that I've ever seen. There's like a couple mazes. It almost looks like a section of something, like it would be pathways leading down. It's really hard to figure out what this is. But he figured out they fit into a map. Archin also found a couple ways where some of the pieces could fit like maybe circular, or like they could fit together in different ways too. So we don't really have any idea as to what this map is to, what it's from. Some of the mazes look labyrinthian, but it's not from the labyrinth. So we don't know what this means. So far, that's all we found. There's no other in-game assets that link to Guidestones or Horse or Creek or Petroglyph. Guidestone seems to be the key word in this little mystery here. And so far, there's no in-game, relations to horse or creek. No locations in that regard. I even looked the actual translations in real life, which I'll get to later, suggest buffaloes are involved. So I was looking, how like they have the little animal pictures in the map. I was looking for like a buffalo picture or a horse picture, and there's nothing like that. And yeah, so there's no other. We're at a dead end here. Now in real life, they're located near a creek, near some railroad tracks in the middle of a forest, and that it's south of. Well, anyway, it's in a location that is impossible to triangulate on the Fallout map because the locations are so skewed up in the game, and so it's impossible to locate it that way. And here's a couple things that I've been wondering. Is Jacqueline dead in the game someplace? If she is dead in the game someplace, that she has the key on her somewhere, but it's not on a terminal. Piece of paper, something. So where's Jacqueline's body? Let's just go with that. Same with Agent Wilson. Where's Agent Wilson holed up at? Are there areas in the game that you can't get into, where he's trapped? Is he alive? Is he a ghoul? What is he? And then how do you get into that terminal? It's locked. Blake's terminal mentions storing the translation key offline, and I've got a stretch theory. What if the translation key were these, and I don't think this is right now that I'm thinking about it now, but I had this idea that, like, what if the translation key to these petroglyphs was stored offline in the in-game files on your own hard drive? Because the game is 100% always online. Like, how deep are they going to go with this little conspiracy? Now, I don't think that's true, but it is something to think about. The other thing is, could this tie into the Mothman cult in the upcoming Wastelanders DLC? Because the Wastelanders DLC was confirmed to be involved with the Mothman cult, and Horse Creek petroglyphs dealing with extraterrestrials or whatever it may be seems like it would be something that they would tie into that could tie into the Mothman cult very, very easily. In the notes, I did say that there's something about the toilet buttons, but somebody was saying that they've been found out to know.
And those are part of the main quest.
Yeah.
So when you were piecing things together, was there anything that was remotely familiar in terms of Appalachia? Any areas of the map that?
No.
Any monuments, toilets, buttons?
No, there is absolutely nothing that ties this into anything in game that we know of now. My guess, if it does exist in the game, it's in some weird place that's super hard to get to that no one's found. If you remember the hidden passages inside of Lucky Hole Mine, wink, wink, they were pretty tough to find. Like, we found them eventually, but they were pretty tough to find. So if it's something like that in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the game, it's going to be tough to find. And the in-game textures were like light gray with some green. So they're definitely not in like the bog. They're not in the south. There's some place where there's green grass and light gray rocks. So what I did out of a final act of desperation was I took a picture of the map, the green textures that we put together from a map, and I tweeted them on Facebook to Fallout, Bethesda, and Pete Hines, and I said, "We're on to you. We know." And Pete Hines tweeted at us, basically saying maybe we're being a bit overzealous about the whole thing. And he posted, he's like, "Is this your vehicle?" And he posted a picture of a vehicle that was like all goofy and it had all these weird
frames. It was a van with conspiracy theories all over it.
And one of the phrases said, and he put hashtag "smell your nightmares," which was written on the vehicle. So that's where tonight's episode title comes in from. But I think he's just trying to throw us off the trail.
It looks like there are like 3 sort of like mazes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there's nothing.
The maze-like structures remind me so strongly of Westworld. But and neither of you has watched Westworld?
I looked at the maze. Yeah. I looked at the maze overlays from Westworld, and they don't match up. But it reminds you. I know.
What about these? I'm assuming this is like an aerial sort of thing. What
That's
about
what I
these
thought.
black lines? Are they bodies of water? They don't really look like bodies of water.
And nothing corresponds with anything in the game. That's the weird thing. I don't know where this is. It could not even exist in the game anymore. This could be an example of cut content that they just threw in there, like, that they just throw
I know
in there
what this
for...
is. It's a map of Chernobyl's reactor number 4 after the explosion. That's what it is. Yeah.
Mystery solved.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember in Skyrim the character in the Thieves Guild named Rune?
Mm-hmm.
And like he was cut. It was a whole quest line that was cut for him because he had all this he had there was a mystery to his origin, and it was a dead end. And then same thing with the butterfly
The
jar
bee jars,
lids,
yeah.
the bee jars or whatever. Like it was just a mystery as to what happens with those runes. So like they are definitely known for putting things in the game that at least seem to lead to nowhere. This could
I
be
see
one of
why
those
you
things.
named the episode "Smell Your Nightmare."
Yes. This could mean absolutely
Okay,
nothing.
So, no, it's something.
I
Because
know.
if it was
wanna
nothing,
believe.
Pete Hines wouldn't have responded.
That's true. It's the first time he has interacted with the show.
Yes, ever, isn't it?
Wait a minute.
If it was
Wait a
nothing,
second.
Pete Hines would not have responded.
That's the first time he ever interacted with the show, and it was to kind of like low-key insult us, but at the same time try to throw us off a trail of the
Yes.
biggest conspiracy ever in the history of Bethesda and ZeniMax and Fallout. We're on to
We're
something,
on to
folks.
you, Heinz.
This is
Break
the
out the
map
tin
to the
foil.
social experiment.
It's just a map to. But see, Captain Bones said he's PR. He's just enjoying. That is not true because we've tweeted at him with more like funnier things than this, and this is the first time he's ever like responded back. But anyway, I'm convinced that it would be interesting to print out, somehow create an overlay of the map that we have in Discord and somehow get a printout of like the in-game map and lay it over to see if anything lines up. There's something here. I want it to be something. I want Area 51 to have aliens. I want it to be. But who knows, man? I don't know. I just found the whole thing interesting. And the fact that
Like,
Pete
what are
Hines,
these little squigglies? Like, what
welcome
are those do?
to where I was 3 weeks ago. You missed all of this. We were going crazy in Discord.
I missed
playing
everything.
Fallout 76 for hours. We were scouring. We were combing the desert with proverbial combs. And we found nothing. And Vendor popped his head out of college work and was like, what did we miss? And we're like, everything.
So, but why is this information even there?
I don't know. But see, that's the thing. There was cut content in Fallout 4. There was cut content in Skyrim that all still existed in the game and in the files, but didn't go anywhere besides that.
But these green images, are there other green images anywhere in the game files like that?
It looks like, do you ever load in and your Fallout game was purple or like
Yeah,
green?
all the time.
So that's the textures in the game. It's part of the loading structure. There's purple and there's green for every texture, and then there's the in-game textures. And I don't really know why that is, but that's standard fare. The green and the purple have nothing to do with it. It's just part of the architecture of the game itself. The green is just a lot easier to see the petroglyphs on, really. That's why we were using that one. But it's real weird. It's real weird. I'll have to post a picture of the actual in-game texture files because they are light gray. They are rocks. It looks like a light gray rock. Like it should be in like the northeastern side of the map somewhere. But here's the thing. If it's in the game, it's going to be at an unmarked location, and it's going to be near some sort of water that's unmarked, like a stream or something. It has to be unmarked because everybody's been to stuff in this. But the other side of the coin was I thought it looked like a terminal, like a map in VATS or something, or not in VATS, in your
Pip-Boy.
Pip-Boy. Couldn't think of what the word was. And but I forgot your Pip-Boy doesn't even have a map system in it.
Yeah.
So it's Vendor's got his thinking cap on.
Maybe it's not even a map at all.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. It's just but it lines up. That's the weird thing. In the in-game files, the way that these are laid out, they don't match up at all. But they do. So that means something.
You're right, they might not be a map. we haven't really considered them from the aspect of being like runes, trying to code break them.
But they line up though. That's the weird
They
thing.
do line
Runes
up.
don't line
Mhm.
up. Runes don't match.
Yeah.
Runes don't match. They're replacements for letters. They are letters. But this lines up in different ways.
I wonder if it's like I wonder if it's some sort of digital output of data.
I don't know, but here's the thing. If you guys are interested in this at all, go scour the wasteland for these freaking runes. Secondly, join the Discord, and if you want, I can make a separate channel for the Conspiracy of 76, and
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll put and pin the images there so you guys can like play with them and have fun. I'll put the actual text images there.
What about
So back to our challenge. The challenge is to find the runes. Also, you can include some tinfoil hat photos in the challenge.
We need to get Dave Chaffins on this.
Well, he was talking to me on Twitter, and he couldn't find any reference to anything at all either. But I'll create a separate. I'll create a separate thing, and
he's quite the researcher, quite the cryptid researcher.
And this is the first time we're going to put it on the podcast, and so that's going to hit a whole different audience other than my Twitter in the Discord. So
yeah, we should
maybe that'll be the smart people.
We should probably cut out that whole segment where we kind of roasted Bethesda earlier.
No, they deserve a little bit of that.
No, we have to be honest. We have to be honest about our opinions and feelings about this game.
We do. That's fascinating. Thanks for sharing. I'm glad that I missed the whole thing and that I'm just seeing this now for the first time because it's so fresh. Yeah, it's good. Wow.
So
that's delightful.
So now this ties over into the IRL segment of our show. The Horse Creek petroglyphs, because they are a real thing. You can go to West Virginia, you can see them. They're located in Wyoming County in West Virginia, and they're there. You have to hike down a railroad track, go down a hill, follow some pathways, and then they're back there a good ways. But they actually are real things that you can go check out. There are disagreements about the actual language used and the translation of said petroglyphs because it's really hard to date that sort of thing. Most people seem to agree on, though, that it is an Ogham, like Irish. They believe that it was like Irish monks or something, and that they came here in the 6th or 8th centuries. It's a very, very ancient language that actually has its origins in North Africa. And their pictures, they're not in like a cave or anything. And I wanted to, Vendor, you put in the link in the chat?
Yes, I can do that.
And they have translations. Let's see if I can open them up here. So here's what the translations are. The top, it's like 3 paragraphs, like top, middle, bottom. And here's how the top line goes. The migration passed like a powerful mirage, quietly undulating and moving unsuspectingly, a short distance, peacefully. To bring about a disturbance, we advanced, rattling branches and shouting. I remember that a whole wave happened to pass by, and we fell back in fear to avoid the bad-tempered stampede of the frightened herd of bison, moving into the entrance of the narrow wooden fenced passage and into the abyss in flight. Come and help. The clan mother was pleased with our cooperative effort. The middle line is, club blows in abundant measure where needed, because many which had fallen into the ravine resisted with obviously broken legs. Brothers, come and help the slaughter to finish them off. And the bottom line is, having prevented escape by running away, we made the usual preparations by the edge of the stream and happily rejoiced in dividing the welcome riches into 3 parts by plentiful butchering. At first, unaccustomed to the task, we undeniably had to pay attention. Where we were as busy as possible and so happily exhausted that we didn't even notice the noise of the thunder coming in our direction. So this is a description about these guys herding bison off a cliff, and then once they fell down the ravine and like broke their legs, then they went in and killed the rest of them to harvest their meat. It's a pretty intelligent way of like taking down a bison with a club, because if you just run at one of those with a club, I imagine you wouldn't win. At least that's what the suspected translation is in Ogham. So that's what that is. And so it's pretty cool.
Cool.
And the fact that they're real in West Virginia and the fact they focus so much on cryptids in this game really just makes me feel like this is something.
I'm not saying it was aliens, but
saying it was aliens. So yeah, that's what we've got for the for that whole segment. So yeah, if you can find those glyphs, man, post them on our Twitter account with hashtag TFS.
People in the chat have already started investigating. L Yankee 69 says, "I just opened it in Paint. It's a layer of an image with missing layers. The top part looks like that."
So yeah, it's just it's crazy. It's really intriguing. You know, it seems like a lot of puzzle pieces there. So, but anyway.
Ooh.
On to emails. Who wants to take that? Shalene, you wanna grab that email?
I would love to read this email. Greetings and salutations, Wasteland Trifecta. Know that your request for emails has not fallen on deaf ears. I spent some time just wandering around and discovering locations that I previously left alone for one reason or another. Being level 120 plus, I felt that everywhere should be available. In the beginning of the game, playing solo while exploring, I made it up to the Philippi Battlefield Cemetery and saw an area off to the west side and never discovered the locale because there were snallies everywhere, and I was under level 5 with a pipe. Having gone back and explored the crashed space station and finding the alien blaster, I was wondering if you guys thought there would be some ET interaction in this game. It seems that around the map there are so many chances to expand the world. Maybe through events or through a side module like the vault thingy that I didn't try yet. I know that if I sent an email over to the Beth Peoples, it would just get lost in the other emails they get. But if you say something, maybe the Bethintern would get on it. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Love the show and keep up the more than adequate work. Thanks again, Radcat Quiche. Still waiting for that recipe, Bethintern. P.S. Rick probably is too.
Well, I mean, if this isn't a perfect email for this episode, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that was incredibly appropriate. What do you guys think? Are we going to get some aliens?
Well, we have
a bit of aliens. Yeah, there's an alien blaster that's obtainable.
The cryptid forest, the forest.
Yeah, the.
Yep. That
what's its name?
I don't know.
Somebody help us out in the chat. On delay.
The Zapper?
No.
I don't remember what I
can't remember his name.
But he is an ET. He is an extraterrestrial.
He's plainly an alien. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's that email. Yeah, I mean, but then come on, get on it. Give us some more clues for this petroglyph thing and help us.
Flatwoods. Thank you, Gerfuffle. Flatwoods monster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's definitely new to you. So anyway, yeah, that's a good email for the ending of our show. That wraps it up nicely with a bow. And also, I want to just say I have an announcement to make, and just kind of to remind you, thank you for listening for the last 2 hours, but our Extra Life stream is November 22nd, starting Friday at 8:30 p.m. and will end Saturday at 8:30 p.m. I will be manning the WJLG stream, and Vendor and Shalene will be coming in and out of our multi-Twitch that we will be doing at that time, raising money for Johns Hopkins Children's Medical Center via Extra Life. And you can check out our team on the Extra Life forums, and the team is obviously We Just Love Games, and we will tweet out that link later. Do you guys have any announcements you want to talk about?
Nope.
Cool. All right, so you can tweet at the show at That Fallout Show and at the network at We Just Love Games. You can also tweet at me at Rick McVick. You can tweet at Shalene L, and tweet at Vendor at Vendortron. And you can find us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/thatfalloutshow and /groups/thatfalloutshow, as well as the network that we are on, facebook.com/wejustlovegames and /groups/wejustlovegames. You can email us at info@wejustlovegames and tell us about your war stories you've had in Fallout and anything else you might want to talk about with Fallout, and we'll talk about it on the show here. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wejustlovegames, and you can find this podcast in audio form on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and iHeartRadio and other places as well. If you leave us a review on iTunes with 5 stars and some texts, we will read it and shout you out on the show at the beginning, like we did our lovely 5-star reviewer this episode. You can check out our other show, Game Stack, which we do Fridays at 8:30 8:30 Eastern Standard and 6:30 Mountain, something like that. I don't know. Here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games every other Friday. Next week it will be our Game Stack episode, and we also do Twitch streams when we can. Thank you so much for listening to us, and we are glad to be back in the swing of things with that Fallout show. And Shalene, take us out with a last word.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book is in Spanish and some of the pages are missing, but I'm an open book.